All right, let's fire up the workshop because today we are exploring a game of brilliant and, let's be honest, often disastrous invention. So grab your goggles because we're about to dive headfirst into the delightful chaos of Contrivance. You gotta love a good tagline, and this one, it's perfect. A game of Moxie, Mayhem, and Machinations. I mean, that pretty much tells you everything you need to know, right? You know you're in for some clever planning and a whole lot of chaos. So, okay, with all that Moxie and Mayhem flying around, what's the actual point? What's the big idea behind all this steampunk-fueled madness?
When you boil it all down, the whole point is to build this ridiculously wacky machine. But here's the catch. You've got to protect your best parts, your most valuable pieces, and then just cross your fingers and hope the whole thing doesn't go up in smoke when you finally power it on.
Okay, so to get a bit more specific, you're competing against everyone else to build the machine with the most points. Simple enough. But, and this is a big but, the parts you're all working with are, let's just say, of dubious value. It's really all about making the best of a kind of sketchy situation. All right, so you're ready to build something amazing, right? First things first, we gotta set up your workbench. Don't worry, setup is super easy. First, you pop together the mat. That's going to be your shared workspace. Then, and this is important, everyone picks a unique builder tile. Hang on to that thought because it gives you a special scoring power we'll get to in a bit. After that, you just grab your 4 component tiles, get the tokens ready in the middle, and deal out 4 tool cards to everybody. Boom, you're ready to invent. Okay, now let's talk about the actual gameplay. A turn has a really specific rhythm to it, split into 2 totally different phases. And getting this flow down, it's pretty much the key to the whole game. So those 2 phases, they could not be more different. First up, you have the building phase. This is, well, it's nice and calm. Everyone takes turns putting their 4 starting pieces on the board. No cards, no funny business, you're just laying down the foundation. But then comes the configuration phase. And yeah, this is where it all kicks off. The gloves are off. You draw cards, you play a card, and you can mess with any tile on the board. Yours, mine, anybody's. This is where the real scheming begins. So what are in these all-powerful tool cards? Well, they're basically your whole toolbox. You've got cards that let you move, rotate, and even swap out parts on the board. Others let you literally change how many points a component is worth. And then you have the really mean ones. Cards that let you steal a tool right out of someone else's hand. It's awesome. But, you know, there's a catch. Hidden in that deck of cards is a ticking time bomb. If you draw a switch on card, bam, your turn is just over. Immediately. You don't get to do anything. Instead, that card pushes the game's clock forward, getting us closer and closer to the grand finale. It adds this amazing bit of tension, you know? Every time you draw a card, you're holding your breath just a little. Okay, pay attention, because we're about to get to the single most important part of this whole game. Seriously, if you want to win, you have to understand this one concept. It's called interlocking. So what is interlocking? Think of it like the main puzzle you're trying to solve. It's how you keep your precious machine parts from just exploding at the end of the game. All you're doing is lining up tiles so their little rivets connect. You create these linked sets that hopefully are strong enough to survive when you flip the switch. And it's actually super simple to do. You just need to get 2 tiles side by side and then rotate them until the rivets are pointing at each other. That's it. And here's a little pro tip for you. The board wraps around. The top and bottom rows are connected, so yeah, you can make some really sneaky plays by linking a part at the very top with one at the very bottom. But, and this is the twist that makes the whole game just brilliant, it's not enough to just link your parts together. In any interlocked group, only the one single part with the highest value survives. Everything else? Poof, it burns out. It's gone. This is where you can do some amazing things. Like, you could use one of your worthless parts to interlock with your opponent's best piece, sacrificing your part to help them out. Or, and this is way more fun, you could link your best piece to their worst one just to make sure theirs gets totally obliterated. It's so good. So you've spent the whole game building, scheming, interlocking. When does it all pay off? Let's talk about flipping that final switch. It's time for the endgame and the scoring. The game screeches to a halt the second someone draws a switch on card that pushes the damage tracker to either end. If it goes above 9, oops, the machine is a wreck. But if you manage to get it down to 0 or less, you've actually repaired it. And believe me, whether it's broken or fixed at the end makes a huge difference in how you score. So when the game ends, a few things happen in order. Step 1, that last switch on card is played, game over. Step 2, you flip over the big contrivance tile in the middle to see the final result. Step 3 is the fun part, the burnout phase, where all the unprotected and weaker interlocked parts go up in smoke. And finally, step 4, you add up the points from whatever's left standing, plus any bonuses, to see who won. Hey, remember way back at the start I mentioned those unique builder tiles? Well, this is their moment to shine, but there's a condition. They only work if you guys manage to repair the machine. If you did, these special powers kick in. And a lot of them are about scoring points for your stuff that got destroyed. Take the mechanic, for instance. They get points for all their uninterlocked parts that burned out. You know, the ones that are supposed to be worth 0. It's just a really cool system that means there's more than one way to win this thing. And that's pretty much the whole shebang. That's Contrivance in a nutshell. It's all about clever building, taking big risks, and dealing with those sudden fiery endings. So the real question is, when it's your turn to flip the switch, are you going to have a masterpiece on your hands or just a big old glorious pile of smoking rubble?